Well, that was a fun one. No stretch run needed because the Sixers took care of business and they got Kyle Lowry, that standing ovation up at Scotiabank Arena after getting the big win. We welcome you here to Sixers Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance, Amy Fiddle, Jim Lynam, and Mark Jackson. And listen, we're going to talk a lot about Tyrese Maxey and his 19th 30-point game of the season. There's some people that go their whole careers that don't have 30-point games, and he had 19 30-point games so far this season. Joel Embiid, another great performance. But let's start with your guy, Kyle Lowry, in this one. I got to ask you your thoughts when you're watching him, and he got a little emotional, Mark.
It deserved. I was emotional. I think Maxey even admitted he was emotional. When you watch somebody grow up from your community and your neighborhood who just used basketball as an outlet, and not just that, he was so humble. He was so gritty. He got his career in high school based off just being gritty with no fear. And it led him from that point on to now where he is at now. I remember the first time I met Kyle, I was working in the Nike ABCD All-American camp. Me and Rick Brunson bringing a lot of the top college players in to work the camp. And it was him and another top Pennsylvania point guard who was ranked higher than him. And Kyle was a year, he was like a junior. And Rick Brunson told me, he said, man, that guy's ranked number one, but this guy's better because he has the heart and he has the grit. And you look at 100 years later, and now look where he's at. He's the Raptors' all-time best player, leads in almost statistical category. And the most important thing, I love to call him my friend, and I love what he does for not just himself and his family, but inspiring the youth of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, Coach, when you're looking at what Kyle Lowry has meant, certainly to the Philadelphia basketball area, but then up there, I mean, to have the statue, and he helped raise their lone banner up there, and to have that moment, you know, you could see Nick Nurse, he'd already planted the seeds or whatever. You knew it was going to happen. But as a coach, I think that you had to feel a little bit like Coach Nurse had a little pride in that too.
Oh, without question. As I said, hand in hand, they won an NBA championship. I mean, how special was that? But I guess I got a little emotional. Mark is saying he did for the obvious reasons. But Kyle, to me, epitomizes a guy who just refuses to accept normal or mediocrity. He just had some kind of inner strength to want to constantly get better. And I think the toughness that he played with is what enabled him to do so. And if you look at his early years in the NBA, he was a good player, but he just kept getting better and better and better. And you see the end result. He's got a Hall of Fame in his future, in my opinion.
I mean, 19 years in the league, and he's going to get all of the praises, as he should. 39 years young, getting ready to be 40 in March. Ooh, and it is remarkable. Exactly. It is remarkable. Mark and I, we got to be there on Media Day. And, for those of you who don't know, they call a lot of these old people, they call us Unk, or acting old or whatever. And Tyrese Maxey, I think, make the joke. It was like, he's not Unk, he's Pop, because he's so far older. But he's learned a lot from the guys around him, and now he's passing that on. I think that's something that's really unique. When people ask, why is Kyle Lowry on this team? You heard Tyrese Maxey postgame, Mark Jackson. That's one of the reasons he's on this team. And now he gets to talk to Kyle gets to talk to Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe and Jared McCain and all these other guards and impart that kind of knowledge from 19 years in the league and winning a title and playing at the highest level.
Man, and I'm gonna share something, which is it's a personal text from Kyle right now. I text him how proud I am. And he said, "I love you, brother." And I said, "Forget that. I'm holding back tears on air. Yeah. I'm so proud of him, man."
Yeah, it's definitely one of those moments, and you're so happy for him. And I know Mark is happy because it's his North Philly guy, and he gets to see him out there. Mark's going to make me emotional out there, but I think when you look at where he came from, what he was able to do, 19 years in the league is absolutely remarkable. And so our hats off to Kyle Lowry. Hats off to the Scotiabank Arena crowd for calling for him and giving him that reception. It was awesome. That is our Toyota electrifying moment, and it was awesome. Here's how it sounded.
Philadelphia. In for Tyrese Maxey is number 7, Kyle Lowry.
Seriously, if you don't feel something after that, check your pulse, because you can see what the fans were doing. You can see what it meant to Kyle right there. You can see what it meant. Tyrese Maxey said afterwards he got emotional. It means a lot. And here's a guy, Coach, you mentioned it. Here's a guy he's grinded his way. Yeah, he was a high recruit, but he was at 2 years at Villanova. He was at the very end of the first round with the 24th overall pick. And he's a guy that had to work for it and earn it. And at 6 feet, that's generous, I would think, with the shoes on. When you look at Kyle, to see what he's been able to do and help them. I mean, he is, for most people will say he's the greatest, what they view as a Raptor, the greatest full Raptor for them.
Well, the numbers speak to that. You saw that graphic when we put it up. Number 1 in steals, number 1 in assists, top 3 all-time points for the Raptors. I mean, you're talking guys like Vince Carter, over the years. Mm-hmm. As I say, those numbers speak for themselves. He's got a trip coming to the Hall somewhere down the line. Not too far down the line either.
Yeah, I would think so. You're going to see him very soon. Well, he had a special moment with his coach. Of course, it was his coach here with Philadelphia and up in Toronto. Let's check in now with Nick Nurse.
Nick, I guess let's start with Kyle. Just to experience that as the coach who was with him in both places, just what was that like for you? What did that mean?
Yeah, it's certainly nice that opportunity presented itself, and it was really cool. Obviously, tremendous fans here, and cool to see that ovation, and just that experience was pretty neat. A lot of neat ones up here, and that was another one.
What did you think of him trying to empty the clip there at the end?
Jeez, it's good. We called a play for him right out of the timeout, and probably wasn't quite ready for that one. And then too bad that one didn't go in because he had it online, and it was good. Got some shots up, got loose a little bit.
Offensively in the first half, you guys really put on a clinic. Yeah. I think it was like 11 for 13 from 3, 84% shooting, something crazy like that. I guess what kind of led to the fast start?
Yeah, I mean, it's things change pretty dramatically when you had 2 guys that can really score in Joe and Paul that weren't there last night. It changes all the spacing. It changes, obviously, much more potent from 3 in general. And I don't know, our guys actually, got into the game, bounced back. It was a good focused mentality, and I thought, again, made the right decisions with the basketball and kept moving it to who was open, and the guys that were open kept stepping into them and making them.
Did you notice that level of focus even maybe earlier in the day? Because it can be tough to flip after how last night maybe ended for you.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so. You never really know, though, Gina, until you get here. I mean, it was pretty long film and pretty long walkthrough today. Didn't come to the gym, obviously, on a back-to-back, but yeah, they were ready to go. It's good to see.
What did you just kind of make of even the defensive effort in the second half? I know offensively it wasn't as great in the second half as it was in the first, but I mean, did the defensive effort overall?
I mean, it was okay. I mean, I think that looked like a second night of a back-to-back second half. Really, I think we were a lot of slow possessions, a lot of long shot clock possessions. They did what they do best on some of those. They started racing it down the floor and scoring in transition, a lot of what we saw last night. But we made enough pretty tough baskets there in the fourth. We didn't get a ton of great offense. They were running around trapping early in the possessions. We handled that just medium, I thought. But just good to get the win.
Just overall, this road trip, come away 2-1.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned before the game, like these are teams that are probably going to be all jockeying for positions. Just overall, just kind of what are your biggest takeaways from this trip?
Nothing. I think that overall, I mean, I think, I just want to see us keep improving and getting better. And I think there's still a lot for me to learn about these guys. And just, we got to polish up a bunch of things. It isn't, again, I don't know. You guys know how many games it is with that lineup? It's like 3 or something. Maybe, I don't know. So it's still not a lot. I mean, so there's so much to learn and improve on, and I think as a coach, I'm enjoying having that depth there, and the starting to get a groove on some of the rotations, who's subbing for who, and there's times when we got to a lineup that was really big but yet still athletic and quick. Kelly at the 2 and Paul at the 3 and Barlow at the 4. So there's some versatility there that we're going to need, against teams like this that have big wings.
Yes, Joel is getting back into rhythm.
Yeah.
Not only now, but in general. How have you seen improving as a passer since you got to Philly?
Yeah. First of all, you're right. He is getting back into rhythm. I think he'd be the first one to tell you he's still got a ways to go. Right. I think that, but he is. I think the biggest thing he's been doing is he's been getting some critical buckets. There's stuff going on, whatever, then he just decides to take it to the front of the rim and get a foul or get a layup or get a dunk or something. So, sometimes you need him to just impose his size and will on people. I mean, he'd be the first to tell you, though, that he's not nearly to where he wants to get yet, just physically and rhythm-wise and all that stuff. What was the second part of your question?
Yeah, how you seen improving his
his passing. Yeah, no, like I think again, just in general, his movement is better. Again, you'll see a block, 2 dunks tonight. That's like a dunk a game here, like the last 3 games, which is he got his first one like a week ago. And he's blocking a shot here and there, which again, he's a great rim protector when he's fully healthy. He's going to have to pass because, there's teams that are going to double him a lot, and we need to make sure we're in the right spots so he can get it out to those guys. Yeah.
Nick, did you ever make a more popular substitution?
I don't think so. I thought they didn't think I was really going to do it, but I was planning on it there and got a good moment to do it. It was nice to be able to kind of bring him in on his own there. So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot.